Welcome to the outer reaches of space. This is Simeon. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard today's live stream. And it is going to be very interesting. We're going to take a journey to Polaris. Going to get everything going. So good to see everybody today. All right. All right, man. So me and Chewy and Stradivarius, Stradivarius is up there. We're all ready. It's still going. We're all ready to take an incredible journey. You know, for me, it's not about a review. It's about an experience. I want us to be able to experience these instruments together. This is I guess it's the second collaboration that Spitfire has done with BT, with the first being Phobos. Now this is just moving everything into the Spitfire player. What I've seen, they've pushed the Spitfire player into some new territory. These are all new string recordings. If you look at some of the pictures here, you notice that the strings are positioned a little bit differently. You've got violins on both sides, and then you've got the cellos and violas and basses kind of in the center. It's a different sound. What they've tried to do is to do these articulations and things with the strings to capture the string performances, to imitate what a synthesizer might do as far as like a granular sound or different things. It's really an interesting concept, and definitely check out the website and just read through what they're going through. Not only did they do that, they took those recordings and resampled them. So you not only captured a different type of string sound, but then you go and you resample those. You resample them into the Fairlight CMI. You resample them through an emulator. You resample them through a Mirage, the 6 or 8-bit sampler that was one of the first samplers. It was so cool to play the Mirage for the first time, to hear those samples coming out. And I'm talking, you know, over 20 years ago. So we're stepping backwards in time in order to create new sounds for 2022 and beyond. And that's kind of like the thought process. So BT has actually orchestrated the strings and everything to kind of simulate the synths, and then resample those even into ADAT machines. I think they talked about the VHS sampling, and I saw a Fostex reel-to-reel. So they're taking these sound sources and just putting them through so many different resampling techniques. That's what they're saying, resampling, reimagined. This is the first screen that you see as the eDNA. You've got two modes, and that is what I think really pushes this a little bit further. So you've got synth and standard. And standard, I'll just go ahead and switch that. This looks more like a traditional Spitfire player like BBC and whatnot with the strings. It's focusing on strings. And then we've got the synths kind of broken out, the sources. Let's go ahead, just play through some of the strings first, just to kind of get an idea of the sources, and then we'll go into the synth engine where it's kind of combined. So this is long granular. And you can hear the performances. They're kind of playing as if it was a granular type of thing. Like the orchestra was the synthesizer. Just kind of random things. And then some long harmonic clouds. so right away, you've got some very beautiful and magical strings. New recordings. And shorts. This is the fuel for that. This is just the strings, and you can already hear some really cool things. This is the really orchestral strings reimagined. I guess that's what they would say. So this is some more Plucks and Staccato, but to sound like a synth, you know. And we might bounce back and forth between the synth and this too. So we've got some long drops. And that's just the strings performing that. It's like the THX. Welcome. Yeah. Amazing. So we've got some longs with the low pass. What is cool is that these are new recordings. They're not recycling stuff. Okay. And some long filter envelopes. And the way they position the strings, that gives a different stereo image. It gives a different it just gives a different sound, because you hear string, you know, high strings here, and then you hear stuff centered in the middle. Yeah, David, it's really cool. Okay, so this is just the bass. Yeah, this is just focusing on the low ends here. Okay, now long Uprising. Let's see what this is. Very nice longs. Even without the eDNA and the synth stuff, these are really beautiful strings. Dynamic layers. I just had it riding all the way at the top. So you can get that low dynamic, this soft dynamic. rich, just rich. Let's go up here with the low, the soft dynamic range. So already, it's just taken us somewhere. And let's write up that dynamic. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we've got long running the blades. Now let's check this out. So they're playing with the different part of the bow, so it gives it just a really interesting texture. So long arrivals the next. Almost like a pad, almost like a synth pad, but it's just so, it's dynamic. Listen to that grunge. You get that grit. Yeah, amazing. So this is a long bass. Long bass halo. So it's kind of ethereal. Flautando. Yeah, so the dynamic when you bring it down gets soft and then you push it up. It gets into those really crazy. More of those scraping, bowing things. Scrapey, bowy things, you know? But the intensity is adjusted with the dynamic slider. So these are just like not static samples. They're moving, they're alive. Okay, so long octaves. Oh. And that dynamic slider just really makes a difference in the timbre of. Yeah, really interesting. So what they've done, so the sections I think are 6 violin 1s, 6 violin 2s, Thank you, Matt. Okay, six violin ones, 6 violin 2s, 5 violas, 4 cellos, and 3 basses. And again, they sat the violas and cellos and basses in more center, and then they pushed out violin 1 and 2s on the sides. And they've got those boundary mics and different mics. Let's just take a quick look at those mic positions. So single, and this is the thing. One of the things that I'm finding with this library is that sometimes sometimes marketing gets a little crazy, and they come up with want to come up with new terminology and stuff, and so it kind of confuses things. So like the mics, for instance, single. It says this is a universal signal for all signals, sounds in the library. So so that may mean Jake Johnson's mix. And then the tight is a close and realistic balance of all the microphones. And then Hall, you got a Hall mix, you got a close mix, a closest mix with the close mics, and the close. It's kind of vague. It's there, but it's still kind of vague. So this is with the tight mix. Let me see if I can find us a. Let's see. Let's go. Yeah, let's go to Long Arrival and just pull up a couple of these different mic mixes. Let's just pull up the Hall mix. And so when you pull the fader down, that will disable or purge that channel. And I think that's kind of cool. So this is the Hall mix on Long Arrival. And let me see, we've got reverb. Okay, yeah, so reverb is off. There's no reverb because we're at Air Studio, it's very wet to begin with. Listen to that decay. So you've got a nice natural decay. So that's the Hall mix, and let's pull up the closest mix. And so it's right there in your face. And close. And room. So you get all these different perspectives. You get all of these different stereo perspectives. You've got far mics. Let's go ahead and just quickly take a listen to those. Far mics. And the boundary mics are some, I guess they're Rode boundary mics. And these are kind of sitting on the floor, just on the farthest edges around the string section. The strings are just so lush. So lush. And encode, now let me just take a look at what that, so it's a dry, so encode is a dry mix passed through an encoder and a decoder to give a deliberately unstable companding effect. And I think it's the Dolby, it's some of the Dolby noise reduction, I think Dolby A, I think they were using that, so they passed this through the, here we are, we're like in 2022, and and the thing is, they're reaching back into the 80s and but it imparts such a really interesting character to it. And then tape. Let's see, let's pull up another articulation. Let's do a short. Let's do some shorts with the spiccato, yeah. Now this is to tape. and they're running it hot to get it saturated. Yeah, you can hear that, just that. And very wet. No reverb is being applied. I'm gonna just turn, yeah, it's off. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then stereo, and I'll just use the same patch, the shorts. And plug-in gurus in the house. Good to see you, my friend. So this is just a pair, probably an XY pair, and it's so that's pretty much the strings, and that's the core of what this the sources. You know, one of the big cores. There's more, but you can already tell. And I'll just let me load up this all-in-one. Let's go back to that default mix again. And let's see, yeah, the tight, and bring that down a little bit. Just the longs, just so beautiful and rich. Very rich. Okay, I tell you what, let's switch it up. Let's go to the synth, and then we'll come back to the standard and go through some more. Let's go back to 1984. That's what I was opening up with, and I'm really cool. So we've got Ensemble Fat in A and Planet of Silence in B. And what we can do, you can click on that, and you have access to all of these sources. And I'm gonna, if I pull that up, yeah. So I'm at 1080p, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of squinting a little bit because you can see they're packing everything in there. They're packing so much stuff in here. But you've got like a browser that you can select the different sources for A and B. It kind of helps give you some filters here. But let's just kind of play with this to kind of get started. And the mod wheel mixes between A and B. So you're taking that richness of the strings and you're putting it in this engine. And let's see what we can do. Let's go to an ocean of sand. A ocean of sand. An ocean of sand. So, so we've got some granular stuff going on here. You can manually do that, and then we can oscillate it. This is where it kind of gets interesting when you start messing around with these things. So yeah, so if you have this click, it'll stop oscillating when you release the key. And yeah, and then we can just mess around with the glides. You can get tweaking and just come up with some really cool things. So we've got yeah, and once again, they're pushing the Spitfire player into new into new territory. Just trying to pack so much in here. I think John mentioned about like LFOs and that kind of thing. Modulation sources, being able to do a little bit more with these, and not really. And I asked them about the little note here beside these wobbles, just to see what if that means anything. So let's keep going. Wrinkle in Time, and a lot of times when I was just pulling this up, I would just pull up a preset and just kind of stay with it for a while, because it's just like you hear a lot of different things going on inside of those. So let's check this out. Okay. Got a little radio silence here, or radio noise here. Let's go into the effects. Yeah. Sometimes I think the noise effects are a little too strong, so first thing I do is go in and kind of calm it down just a little bit. Let's oscillate it. I mean, it's just so much stuff going on. It's hard to process a lot of times. Above the Spire. Yeah. I think it does, John. It has a nice, the texture, the orchestral textures are really cool. I think a lot of these are proof of concepts a lot of times. They just try things and combining. Yeah, Christian says it's a zeitgeist, not hybrid, but you're combining so many different things. You're combining old and new and orchestral and synth. You're sampling orchestral into vintage Fairlights and stuff. That's what brings just new flavor and new color to these. They're just so full. And that's the thing. Let's just keep marching down through these. So we got a CS80. And that's a good point, NBC, because so many of these are so thick. Yeah, listen to that. Yeah, some of these are so thick that you have to figure out, and not to overwhelm with other things, to find places for other instruments to fit in, because it tends to be so full and rich with so much stuff going on that things have got to have a place. There's 410 different presets here. Okay, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try something here. Let's see. Well, I've got it at 110. I'm going to just try something here with this patch and just free flow it. Just going to kind of play it free. Okay, so I'm going to shrink this down a little bit, and let's pull up cinematic piano. Let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, this is live. This is fun. Okay. Yeah, it is like seeing a film in your mind when you're playing things like this. Okay, so now, hey, why not? Let's pull up Abbey Road. Let's pull up Abbey Road with the orchestra, and let's throw some more reverb on there. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's try this. Because this shows you how it could fit together. It's big. Yeah. So yeah, that's just a little. But you have Abbey Road. And then let's just link this together with Polaris. So now you got Abbey Road and Polaris together. It just gets so huge. It just gets so huge. Okay. Yeah, so that's just, you know, just on the fly. Man, wow. Just incredible. Okay, so let's just keep going. Okay, Beyond the Dunes. I just typically go in alphabetical order. So we've got strings, long living string, and harmonic fuzz in these two. Let's just listen. Just so much going on. We've got the gate sequencer. Yeah, the noise. Yeah, okay, yeah, you got emulator noises in there. Let's just keep going. Black light. Crossing the threshold. And the names really don't tell you exactly what to expect. It just kind of paints a picture in your mind. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's what I'm saying about these noise effects. See, they get that noise effect 94 to 94%. And it just kind of... And it just really overwhelms some of the other sounds that you're going for. Yeah, this is just really dark. And it's just really long and sustained. Yeah, they've got the sustained all the way up. So it's like that's never going to stop. The releases and stuff. Yeah, you've got a little bit of control, but not a whole lot. Okay, channel islands. Yeah, and then the A and B are called channel islands, so we don't really know what that is. We know there's strings. And it's all about exploring. You've got to dive in here if you have this. And that's why I just like to take you through some of these patches together. Okay, let's see something here. So we've got different themes here. The Source, Synergy, Ether, Black Box, Hope, Majestic, Magnetic. Yeah, it's kind of hard to read sometimes. Outpost, steals, and user patches. So let's go to Synergy and see what happens here. Betamax Forest. It is kind of a dystopian type of thing. Yeah, okay, let's just see. I want to just go down to some more of these, just going down, because we're not going to go through all 410. Yeah. And that kind of sounds a little Fairlighty. That sounds like the Fairlight voice patch. Okay, let's just kind of see what we can do with it. Some of these. And let's play around with the pitch a little bit. Yeah, the thing to do is just jump in there and start messing with the knobs. Yeah. Yeah, so it doesn't have to all be dystopian. It can be a little jazzy here. The Alpha Project. Yeah. So some more fat synth. Yeah, some fat synths there. Okay, boom, 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 boom. The Ancient Ways. Yeah, why not? Yeah, some really interesting synths. Let's go back to the standard real quick and take a listen to some of those synths there. Oh, okay, there we go. So let's go to some of the hardware synths. So we've got a CS80. Okay, so basically with the synths, we only have the single, and then we can mess around with the stereo spread. I guess the mod wheel does something with the filter. And we can go, of course, to the effects, noise effects, and but let's just turn on the granular. It looks like a little snowflake here. Let's just kind of play around with some of these granular effects here. I just start messing around with some of them, and you gotta be real nice and grab the handle. Now let's just adjust the mix. Ooh. Okay, okay, good. Thank you, J-Mac. So we can stack and kind of stack sounds together. Let's get into another key. And so I'm gonna shift click that. Okay, Wavestate. Let's do the Wavestate and the CS80. Granular is on still. Now this was cool, the tuning Quantize. So you can do major, different chords, different scale, minor. You can automate that. You got Locrian and Mixolydian. Yeah, that's crazy. That's without the granular mixed in. Let's see what we can do. Control, yeah. So you control click on a control and that puts it back to the default. Yeah, it's nuts. This section can take you a while to. So this is just the Wavestate by itself. Let's see. Very cool. Let's see what we've got on this second page here. Okay, we've got a Jupiter 8. Jupiter 8. And we've got the Prophet 5 here. That is nice. Really nice, and I think it's cool too that you can combine these two. So, man, yeah, I'm pushing it a little hard here. You know, the tuning Quantize is actually part of the Granular Engine, so. So I can take this, take the mix, go back in the Granular Engine and turn that mix, and then you can apply that tuning Quantize to anything. That's crazy. And then you can even adjust the spread. So that's kind of cool with that Granular Engine. So Prophet 5, let's see if we can combine it with the CS80. Shift click, and now we've got both of those. You know, so I think that's what we struggle with a whole lot with all of these libraries, because we all have access to these same tools. I think what has to happen is that, you know, you give 10 different artists the same colors of paint, the same canvas, and eventually the thing is, oh well, they're gonna paint the same thing. But the thing is, we all approach things totally differently. I'm gonna approach this differently than you would, and you might recognize some of the sounds. But when you think about it, when we had hardware synths and different things, we all had, you know, a lot of us had the same DX7s. We all had the same things, even though the sounds were similar. The heart and the whatever was inside of us that went out, that is what we deposited with those sounds. And I think that's what sets it apart. And I think it also challenges us to be creative, even though we're using the same tools, to just try to just think outside of the box with them a little bit. The thing is, we've got such a large palette with things like this. You know, we went and saw the 70th anniversary of Singing in the Rain yesterday. 70 years, 70th anniversary. And so they were talking about these huge microphones and all of this technology. And then we fast forward to today. Absolutely, we're really spoiled with all of the choices that we have, and all the sounds that we have available to us. It's amazing. I love it. I love these journeys because it really helps us. This is what I love, because I realize that, and I think that's what I really love to do, because they don't offer demos. You can't, you know, VSL does offer like a 14-day return policy, so you can actually have sort of like a 14-day trial. But the majority of companies do not provide any type of demo. You just have to go by their walkthroughs and stuff. And so for me, these are journeys of discovery. They're not necessarily reviews or showcases or whatever. I just call them adventures. I call them journeys, shared experiences, especially live. That's why I love to go live so much, because I love to share. I love to know that you're out there. I picture all of you guys watching, and my desire is to be able to, if anything, is to help inspire you or to open these instruments up just a little bit, if I can. And I just so appreciate the support. Oh, okay. Okay, so you kind of almost read my mind there, Pytox, because I do have it sitting here. I've got yeah, I do. I was thinking about that. So this is what we did earlier. But what I'm going to do is, this is just a quick and dirty way of just kind of linking things together in Cakewalk. So this is Cinematic Frozen Strings, which has to be one of my favorite originals. This has to be one of my favorite originals. So this is the Flautando, $29, and I'm going to pin this open, and now let's open Polaris again. And the thing is, it's just like a kitchen full of spices. You can create so many cool things. So this is the Prophet 5. La 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 la. See, it's just so much to go for. Let's do the CS80. Ooh. Now that's different. Now let's layer the Cinematic Frozen Strings with this. Let me load this hardware again. Or let's just do this. Let's go to samplers in the category. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, see, and I'm having a little trouble reading the text here, but let's just see what we've got. Long Moonlight Strings. Okay, so let's just take a listen to that. Layered. Let's just... So these are resampled strings, and let's put it with the originals. Let's just adjust the blend. Okay, that's the frozen strings. Anytime you can layer things together, you get something happens. So much happens inside of these instruments, but layering and stacking. Let's just go back to Polaris, and we'll go to these vintage resampling samplers. I think that's just incredible what they did with this. This is, I don't know, Metis. It just imparts, it just imprints the DNA of these classic samplers on these sounds. And you've got dynamic layers from these. Okay, and okay, low pass filter at 2K, and then low pass filter at 200. Oh yeah. Uh-oh, got a refill coming. Incoming. Incoming refill, I'll trade you. She puts up with all of this. It's just such a blessing to have someone that believes in what you're doing and supports. Yeah, so this is low pass filter at 200. And this is like an emulator II Pizzicato. Okay, now we're... So they resampled those strings into the emulator II. So they sample these into these vintage synths. So that gives you access to the filters and stuff. Uprising, Emulator 2. Okay, wow. Long, I don't know. Long Moonlight Strings. Let's just keep going. You got all these different Moonlight strings. Oh. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, different filters, different types of things going on there. Almost like a formant filter. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's just so much fun. Illusion Pizzicato. Velocity on the shorts always kind of affect the sound. It's so amazing how all of these years we were going like, okay, digital, clean, everything pristine. And now it's just like we're going back and saying noise, distortion, saturation, filtering and stuff. So it's just like, it's just this wild cycle of things that we're experiencing here, where old is new again, and where old actually is being talked about as being futuristic. And I think that's just kind of, it always goes back to Solomon. He says, you know what, vanity, there is nothing new under the sun. And he's right, because it's just like things just continue to cycle and go into different things. Incredible. Okay, hardware effects. Now this is different. So this is the Lexicon Granular with the Collegno strings going through it. And they're playing, and they're putting it through the good old Lexicon. There's so much in here. I mean, Christian mentioned that it was an Aladdin's cave, and where you can just get lost in all of the different things that you can. Yeah. So ensemble smooth. I'm just going to bounce through some of these. If you've got any questions, just let me know and I'll do my best to answer them. Just so many cool flanger stack. And they've got a little crazy interface over here. I wish we could zoom in and decode what's going on here, but I think that's just a little bit of eye candy here. Then we've got VHS, and I bet you they're running those through like ADATs or something. It'd have to be VHS double speed. Oh. Yeah, it's just like all those artifacts that we were trying to get away from, we're going back to them in a different way. We're approaching them and seeing them differently. So they're running the strings through all these different different effects here. Wild VHS. Let's see. Yeah. Unstable. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so let's go back to the synth side real quick. Yeah, and it's just like having two different instruments. That mode switch just allows you to have like just two different types of instruments there. And so let's go. Okay, the source. And then we've got Synergy, Black Box Hope, Magnetic Outpost, different categories here. You are now entering what? You are now entering, but what? But what? Okay, it says the darkness, so. Hey Todd, you're welcome. And you know what? It's never my intention to push anybody. I just want to show you. I want to show you. Now see, this is a totally different type of thing. Yeah, so you can drop this down to the sources, yeah. You've got access to those patches that are in the standard, and that's what you can use for the sound sources. Let's go to the E2 Pizz for the dark, this part here. Isn't that cool? And then we can mix them. Yeah, it's just like I get sucked into some of these sounds because there's so much complexity going on in there. Okay, Zastromyth. Okay, yeah, just like I don't know what that is. Okay, so this is using the oscillator at 16th. Okay, let's see. Okay, I hear this. Let's link it up with Abbey Road with the orchestra. I just hear this. Let's link Polaris back into. Okay, you see how Polaris adds just a little depth to the to this. Let me turn this down. So you can take, if you've got brass, you can take the brass and pop it into some of this. I'm going to speed up the mixer. Love that. Now that combination is kind of fun. Triumphant, you know. That's pretty insane. So it just doesn't stop. It does not stop with it just goes crazy. Wow. Okay, let's just do a couple more. Turquoise Planet. There's so much to discover. It's just like, you know, they launched that new telescope and they're seeing farther, but there's still so much more to go. There's still so much to go. It's just incredible. When you think you've discovered it all, there's always something just a little bit beyond. So we've got the Emulator 2 harmonic clouds and some dark reverb here. Yeah. Let's see. Little cinematic piano. Got cinematic piano here, just kind of layered on top of here. And let me just crank the reverb up a little bit. so many places we could go. What a journey. What a journey. Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks everyone for joining me on this expedition to Polaris. And I want to welcome you back real soon for another live stream. Again, I cannot thank you enough for all the love and support and for just hanging out with me today. It's such a joy. And if you have any questions, make sure, man, you leave them in the comments below. Check out all the links in the description. It's been my pleasure to be with you. And I want to thank Spitfire Audio for allowing me to take this journey with you. They provided a copy of Polaris for me to take us on the journey together. So until next time, just when you think you've got to the edge, there's still more to discover. So I will see you next time as we continue our search for the joyful sound.